Yeah, hi there. Thanks a lot for joining me today here in the shack. So there's a reason for that why I'm here in the shack today. I'm just kind of retreated myself here in the shack to talk a little bit about, perhaps more difficult tobacco thing. So, but let me just get started so you will understand that. There's a video on the channel which I made quite a while ago, that was called French Footage with HU tobaccos. And in this video I mentioned at the end a special HU tobacco. I have it here. So it is not a tobacco done by HU, but it's selected by HU. And it's aus dem Krater. That's the name. Aus dem Krater number 5. So I'll show you that. Hope camera gets this done. And in this video I said, well, I already have an idea what it might be, what the original tobacco might be. And I said, well, that's a copy. I think it's a copy. And I had an idea. And if you see the tobacco, I think many of you will very quickly get the same idea. So somebody asked me, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, well, where's the video where you tell us which tobacco it is? And I nearly forgot that. So, but I didn't really forget, but it took me a bit of research on the whole topic. So I wanted to make this, just complete. So I'll show you the tobacco. When you see the tobacco, so many of you might have an idea what it could be. So for you it's easy now, because I think I will call the video Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky and its copies or something like that. So at that point where I had the idea that it may be Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky, I have never seen Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky myself at that point. The reason is Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky is not available in Germany. I have no idea why. The Golden Sliced, for example, and many other Orlik stuff is available in Germany. I don't know why the Orlik Dark Strong isn't available, but I had an idea. So my idea was that the Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky may contain something, some ingredients not allowed in Germany. And my thought was that may be the reason why we have so much copies of Orlik Dark Strong. And I figured that out quite quickly. When you go on the internet and you search for Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky, you will find copies of that. So that brings me to another point. So where my idea was that may be a copy. So to prove that, of course, I had to have Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky. So I asked a friend, Joshua. So Joshua, many thanks for that. He sent me a tin of Orlik Dark Strong very quickly, and there were several other good friends in the YTPC. They provided me with that good stuff. So Tim, for example, I think, many thanks for that. Joe and Eric, of course, and I will get back to the tin Eric sent me later in the video. So now I had enough good stuff from Orlik Dark Strong. So I show you the original tin. Yeah, I think I should say 1 or 2 words about the tobacco. So perhaps 1 or 2 of you may not know this tobacco, although it's quite a kind of famous tobacco. It's well known, and there are many fine reviews about that. You can find that on the internet too. So I show you. That's the original. So it is a flake, a Virginia in the middle, and Kentucky on both sides. So that makes it very unique. So when you see the tobacco, that was the reason why I opened the tin, and I haven't ever smoked Orlik Dark Strong at that point, but I just knew how it looks, and that was enough. So it's quite unique when it comes to the shape and everything. So when you smell it, you will smell earthy notes, perhaps a little bit of plum, so the Virginia sweetness. You can also smell Kentucky notes and some kind of licorice. So my idea was that this licorice, what you also can smell and taste when you smoke the tobacco. So it is a combination of Virginia, Kentucky, and licorice. So it's very delicious. So this combination is quite delicious. If I should just mention something critical about this tobacco at all, then it is that at the end of the bowl, the last third of the bowl, the licorice flavor may break down. Yeah, just can't stand it anymore. So that could happen. So, but in all the other ways, it's really nice tobacco. So the humidity is absolutely all right, and the two methods you can use, that's also very interesting on this tobacco. So you may ask, why don't they just throw it together, just mix it up, so the Virginia and the Kentucky? So I think a good reason for that is you can rub it out, or you can use the fold and stuff method. And if you use fold and stuff method, well then, of course, you have different taste notes when you go down the bowl. So sometimes the Virginia is more in front, and sometimes the Kentucky is in front. So that's an interesting thing when you use the fold and stuff method. So, but that brings me to one difficulty I had, because so now I had the original and I had the HU copy, and I also ordered another copy of that, and this is Peter Heinrich's Dark Strong. You can find that everywhere on the internet, that Peter Heinrich's Dark Strong is a copy of the Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky. I show you the tobacco. Oh, there's just a rest in it. So, I don't know. I can watch in the tin. Hope the camera gets this done. So, but I assure you, it looks precisely the same. Precisely the same than both other tobaccos. So, if you take a piece of it from all three tobaccos and you just compare them, you will find out it's exactly the same in the cut, in the length, the way they cut it, and so on. So my question now was, is it a copy, or are these tobaccos from one tin, metaphorically speaking? So that was my question, and I found both opinions on the internet. So some say it's a copy, and some say there are even differences from the copy to the original. So it shouldn't make me wonder that most of them who thought there is a difference, they thought the original is the better one. And I had the same idea at first. So I wanted to know, is it all the same tobacco, or are these copies, and where's the difference? So as I told you, my idea was it should be a copy, because that would explain easily why Orlik doesn't sell the original on the German market, because there might be something in it that's not allowed on the German market when it comes to tobacco. So that would be a good explanation for that, to do a copy. But when that's the reason, so the copy has to be different, of course, then. So I tried that out. I smoked the original, I smoked the Heinrich and the HU copy. And I thought, yeah, there is a difference. There's a difference. There's a lack of sweetness in the copy, or it's not so complex. And I thought, yeah, there maybe several of these reviews, they may just be right with that. So, but I wanted to know for sure, because, well, a thought for me, so I thought, it doesn't just seem likely that those three tobaccos are so precisely the same by the look, dimensions, everything else. So it perhaps just the licorice or the flavor, the topping, that may be different. So that was my idea. So, and I really had the feeling that these tobaccos were different. So, but I wanted to know for sure. So I made an experiment. So, and the experiment was, I took 1 tin of the original Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky. I rubbed it out. I put it in a jar, an mason jar, and I took absolutely the same amount of one of the copies. Now, I'm gonna talk about the copies soon. Took one of the copies, rubbed it out exactly the same way, and the same amount. Put another jar, and I just wrote down here. So one, I don't know if you can read that. So on one jar there's original, and on the other is copy. So, and then I took 2 nearly identical pipes. So these are my Knudsen pipes. I don't think you have seen these before. So it's a pair of Knudsen pipes. So I like that. So Heinrich Knudsen, he makes really, it's really a fine pipe maker. So fine craftsman. So same shape, nearly the same. So pair of pipes. And I filled one pipe with the original. So with an original tobacco, so I had another tin with the original tobacco, rubbed that out the same way. So I always knew there's one pipe with the original. So and then I mixed that up. I took one of these jars and filled the other pipe. And the only thing I decided was, is it the same tobacco in both pipes or not? That's the only decision I made. I knew one is the original, because I took it from the original tin. The other could be the original, so because in one of the jars is the original tobacco and the other the copy. So, okay, and then I wrote it down, and after I wrote it down, I checked on the jar if I'm right or wrong with my decision. So, and I did that 15 times. So, and I smoked both pipes the same time, not one after another, but I lighted up both pipes and I smoked it 1 minute, one pipe, second minute, the other pipe, and so on to the last third of the bowl until there was just ashes. I don't have to tell you. So, well, this is serious stuff. So with all the Kentucky. So several times I was just fed up with that. So at the end, so after smoking 2 pipes at the same time. So, but there's nothing I wouldn't do for a Y2PC. So be sure of that. So okay, and then yeah, I just wrote down, is it copy or is it original? So and I show you what the result is. I don't know if you can see that. Don't worry. I'll tell you what it is, what the result is. So the result is I smoked 15 times, and in 8 times I was right. 8 times I was right. So let's say I thought, well, that might be a copy, and it was a copy, or I thought it's an original, and it was an original. So, but in 7 times I was wrong. So being 8 times wrong and 8 times right and 7 times wrong, that means it's just 50%. So, or nearly 50%. So that means the result is I can't find out in a blind test what is original and what is copy. I just can't. I thought I could. So that brings me to a point. So sometimes we have a tin of good tobacco, and we think, yeah, well, it's really better than this or that tobacco. You really smell that, you really taste that, it's really better. So, and suddenly we find out that it's the same tobacco. It's just a different producer, let's say, distributor, let's say, but the producer may be the same. So just another brand, perhaps, and then sometimes we might be shocked about that and think, well, but I always thought there's a difference. So it's the same here. So when I without the blind test, I would think there's a difference. But for me, but that's just for me. Perhaps there may be a difference, but I just can't find out. So in a blind test, that's all I want to say. So that brings me to the point. So I think this tobacco is not a copy. This tobacco is Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky. So that brings me to another point. So who is the distributor? So that's interesting. So this is Peter Heinrich. I'm pretty sure you know that, Peter Heinrich Dark Strong. So, but Peter Heinrich, he's not a producer. He's a distributor, so he has a shop, so he sells tobacco, but he doesn't produce tobacco. So the number here on the tin is 2662. So 26602. And this number, that's a customs number, so for the taxes in Germany. And well, this number, this tells me it is done by Kohlhase. Kohlhase is really an important producer here. Producer, distributor, everything. So he's really a big player. So this is done by Kohlhase, and I packed from Kohlhase for Peter Heinrich. And I figured out that there are several copies of the Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky under brands of shops. So if you have a tobacco shop, you can order that stuff by Kohlhase and just get your brand on it, just the name of the shop or whatever, and then you sell Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky under your own flag, under your own name. So this is what Peter Heinrich does. And it's the same. So we may not wonder that that's the same with the HU copy. So the HU copy is also done by Kohlhase. So that means these two tobaccos are definitely the same tobaccos, packed by Kohlhase. So what is the difference then to the Orlik Dark Strong? Well, I was surprised because when you know the Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky and you see this tin, I just opened this tin. I was kind of surprised because I have seen several of these tins with Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky, and normally, I don't know, but all the tins I saw, they were packed quite precise in 3 different packages, absolutely precise. But this isn't, so strange. This isn't. So the packing is quite different. So the Orlik is packed quite accurate, quite accurate. So the HU is just thrown in more or less, and the Peter Heinrich, well, this, if you open the tin, it really looks like it's not just thrown in. They throw it in and then they shake it 10 minutes. So it's really hard to find something that isn't broken. Well, look at that. So it's really hard to find something that isn't broken. So okay, well, that's just the difference in packing. So what's the decision we have to make if we just like that stuff, if we just want it, if we just want to smoke it? So let me just relight. So perhaps when you know one or two of my videos, you know what's coming at last. So the difference is in the price, of course. So that brings us to the price. So the price. I watched Four Noggins yesterday, and I saw that the Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky, 50 gram. This is about $8.50. I've seen that. I think all that was pipes and cigars. I think Four Noggins that was just a little bit more than $8. So Peter Heinrich, for example, that is about $19 for 100 gram tin. 100 gram tin. So, and the HU, this is 10 euros per 50 gram tin. So there is a difference, you see that. And I think really huge difference is if you order Peter Heinrich's, I think there is also a 500 gram. So in Germany, Peter Heinrich's Dark Strong, I think 200 gram is the least you can order. But you can also order 500 gram. And if you order 500 gram, then it's something about 76 euros. So that means per 50 gram is just 7 euros 50 cent. 7 euros 50 cent per 50 gram then, and for the HU you pay 10 euros per 50 gram. But it's in a separate tin then. So that's a decision you have to make on your own. You want to have more tins, perhaps for cellaring, for storage or whatever, for aging. Maybe good to have these kind of vacuumized tins or whatever. So then that may be an advantage. So one last thing. I said I would mention Eric again. So Eric, thanks again for sending me a tin of Orlik Dark Strong Kentucky. Eric, that's Gold Penner 1972. So if you don't know him, check him out. He's really a great guy. But he also, and I hope, Eric, it's okay that I just tell that. So he gave me a great recipe. So he said he sent me another tin, and he sent me the Krater Nr Sunday Picnic. So you have seen that already on a video with Kent. So it's a Virginia, combined with Perique and some Turkish. So it's a great tobacco. And Eric said, well, I send you a tin of the Sunday Picnic and a tin of the Kentucky Dark Strong. You just rub both out, mix them together. It's great tobacco. And he is absolutely right. So perhaps you want to try that out. It's really great tobacco. Using a tin of Sunday Picnic and Dark Strong. Nice combination of both tobaccos. So Eric, thanks again for that recipe. The honor is to you, my friend. Yeah, I think that's it. Hope I didn't forget anything. Well, that was so much that crossed my mind about that video, so it was kind of complicated. Yeah, back again. Camera just let me down. Camera thought should be over now, and camera is absolutely right. So I really, this video is far too long. But if you're still there, so My apology if I confused you with all that information. I don't know, it was really complicated. So just the conclusion. Conclusion is it's the same tobacco. I think it's done by Orlik and then sold to, they sell it to Kohlhauser, and Kohlhauser just is the distributor, so they pack it for different shops here in Germany, and for Peter Heinrichs, and for AGU, and so on and so on. And yeah, well, it's, I think, originally done by Orlik, so I can't find any difference. So that's the conclusion. So perhaps I should have just mentioned that without all the other stuff. I don't know. If you're still there, thanks for that. I hope you are well. Yeah, take care, and perhaps see you again. I promise next time gonna be shorter.